Hello, welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. Today we're going to play another game from the 1905 season replay using Action PC Baseball. This game featured the 1905 New York Giants. And as you can see, the Giants have won 7 of their last 10. Unfortunately, they've lost 2 in a row against the Pittsburgh, first 2 games of the series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Bill Dowling here is riding a 10-game hitting streak, so we'll see if we can get back to our winning ways, as we're just a game out of first place behind the Chicago Cubs. And we have a record of 34-15, so this is game number 50 of the season. So without further ado, we have Red Ames on the hill. Let's get this game underway. Mr. Brody's in the co-host seat with Mr. Purple Dinosaur, and Mr. Brody still has his Yankees t-shirt on from the last game we just played. As our 1978 Red Sox replay, we have a big series going on against the New York Yankees. So, go Red Sox on that one. Whoops. As we're closing our Stratomatic League here. That's what that is. So we'll just wait a second before we start this game. As the Strat game is zipping itself and saving it so we can close out our Strat game. But anyway, yeah, you can see before they lost 2 to Pittsburgh, they had a 7-game winning streak in which they won 5 in a row from their Boston Beaneaters, and then they won the last 2 games of the Brooklyn series, taking 5 out of 6 from the Brooklyn Dodgers there. It looks like they had 1 game at Brooklyn, and the rest of the games were at New York. So anyway, so there we go. So there's our lineup there. Alrighty, so everything is unzipped here. Give it a second here to close. So, alright, so let's get this game underway.
Leading off for New York, center fielder, Mike Donlin.
So, alright, so welcome to Exposition Park. This is not Exposition Park. This is, I think I want to call it, I think it's Shibe Park in Pittsburgh, as there wasn't a good picture of Exposition Park, so we went with this one. So welcome to Exposition Park for today's game between New York and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has won 8 of their last 10. So Red Ames will get the start for New York. He's made 9 starts in the year. He's 7-1 with an ERA of 2.75. This will be his first start against Pittsburgh. He'll be opposed by Duncan Phillippe for Pittsburgh, or Philip. He's made 11 starts on the year and is 8-3 with an ERA of 2.02. It'll be a second start against New York. So he's 0-1 with a 9.00 earned run average against the Giants. And New York shortstop Bill Dowling is riding a 10-game hitting streak. Pittsburgh shortstop Honus Wagner is riding a 16-game hitting streak. So both shortstop riding long hitting streaks here. And it's 82 degrees, wind speed 15 miles per hour from right center field. And there's a chance of rain. So let's play ball. So alright, so the New York Giants lineup is pretty standard. Mike Donlin, the center fielder, will lead it off. He'll be followed by George Brown, the right fielder. Roger Bresnahan behind the plate hits third. Dan McGann, the first baseman, will bat cleanup. Sam Mertes is the left fielder, hitting fifth. Art Devlin, the third baseman, hits sixth. Bill Dowling, the shortstop, seventh. Billy Gilbert, the second baseman, eighth. And on the mound, Red Ames will hit ninth. So these are their stats for the actual season right here, I believe. Yes, these are the stats here on the lineups, as we switched to those in a couple of games ago, because we have quite a few games played there. So these are their actual stats. So for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Duncan Phillippe will be on the hill. He comes in with a 8-3 record with a 2.02 earned run average, 98 innings pitched, 83 hits allowed. Has walked 19 batters, struck out 24. with a whip of 1.04, and batters are hitting 224 against them. So the outfield around Phillippe is going to be Clark in left, Flaherty in center, Howard in right. Clark the best fielder of the three in left, with an average, a little bit below average arm. Flaherty in center is awful with a 2 range and a 1 arm, and Howard in right is average, pretty much average all around. In the infield, much better than the outfield, is going to be Leach, Wagner, Ritchie, and Hillebrand, with the Hall of Famer Wagner with a excellent range, excellent defensively. Leach above average, as are Ritchie and Hillebrand also. Behind the plate, Russ Gibson is average arm, with slightly above average defensively, and Ryan Phillippe, not the actor, Deacon Phillippe is below average defensively on the hill. So Mike Donlin comes in hitting .366 in the replay with 3 homers, 24 runs batted in, has scored 48 runs, 12 stolen bases, and with 8 doubles and 7 triples. So Donlin steps to the plate. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that's going to be hit, popped up to short. Wagner, no, actually it's going to go deeper into the outfield, as Flaherty will make the catch for out number 1. It's kind of hard to tell where the ball was going there, as I was used to watching the Stratomatic ball, playing a lot of Stratomatic baseball lately. So George Brown up now, comes in hitting .323 with 2 homers, 35 runs batted in. Also scored 35 runs, 6 stolen bases, with 4 doubles and 8 triples. And that's a strikeout. So 2 up and 2 down for the Giants. Brings up Bresnahan. Bresnahan also having a fine season, hitting .362 with 23 runs batted in. Has scored 34 runs and has 11 doubles and 2 triples. And back-to-back Ks to end the first. And that'll do it for the Giants.
Ames.
So Red Ames on the hill.
Leading off for Pittsburgh, left fielder, Fred Clark.
So Red Ames on the hill for the Giants. Comes in with a 7-1 record, 2.75 run average. 75 and a third innings pitched, 75 hits allowed. 28 walks, 31 strikeouts. Slightly high whip of 1.37. And opponents are hitting .357 against them. So pretty standard defense if you've watched any games of this series. Mertes in left, Donlin in center, Brown in right. Not a very good defensive outfield, but the infield much better, especially on the left side with Devlin and Dowland. And Gilbert and McGann on the left side slightly above, well, Gilbert slightly above average range, defensively, and McGann average. Behind the plate, Bresnahan above average with an average arm, and Red Ames below average defensively. So the lineup for the Pittsburgh Pirates is going to be Fred Clark. The left fielder will hit first. He'll be followed by Del Howard, the right fielder. Batting third, the shortstop, Honus Wagner. Batting cleanup, Tommy Leach, the third baseman. The second baseman, Claude Ritchie, will bat fifth. Homer Hillebrand, the first baseman, bats sixth. Be followed by George Gibson behind the plate. The center fielder, Patsy Flaherty, will hit eighth. And on the mound, batting ninth, Deacon Phillippe. So Fred Clark comes in with a .357 average, having a good season also, with a homer and 19 runs batted in. 36 runs scored, 9 stolen bases, with 10 doubles and 6 triples. Here's a delivery by Ames. That'll be popped up to center as Donlin comes in and makes the catch for out number 1. So we have an early score here. Cleveland leads, let's see, what was that? Oh, St. Louis leads Boston 1-0, and that's St. Louis Browns leading the Boston Pilgrims. Brooklyn and Cincinnati are scoreless in the bottom of the first. Cleveland leads New York Highlanders. Cleveland Naps lead the Highlanders 1-0 in the top of the first. And it's Chicago White Sox leading the Philadelphia Athletics 2-1 in the top of the fourth. So Del Howard up now, comes in hitting .276 with 2 homers, 29 runs batted in, has scored 18 runs, has a stolen base, and has 11 doubles. That's a little number up the middle. Great play by Dowling, moving to his left. Fires over to McGann and gets him for out number 1. It's out number 2.
Wagner.
So Honus Wagner up now, riding a 16-game hitting streak. Comes in hitting .341 with 4 homers, 43 runs batted in, 36 runs scored, 17 stolen bases, 13 doubles, and 7 triples. Ames kicks and delivers and strikes him out.
Dan McGann.
So that'll do it for the Pirates in the first, and after 1, no score. The Pirates come in with a 29-22 record on the season. So McGann up now, comes into the game hitting .292 with 3 homers, 45 runs batted in, 27 runs scored, 7 doubles and 5 triples. Here's the pitch by Phillippe, and that's going to be a dribble down the line, just foul, as Hildebrand gives chase. That'll bring it the so Dan McGann still up to the plate with a 0-2 count. Hits this one to the opposite field.
Left fielder.
And Clark is there to make the catch for out number 1. So 1 gone in the Giants' second. Brings up Sam Mertes, .265 hitter on the season, 2 homers, 28 runs batted in, 36 runs scored with 12 stolen bases, and has 9 doubles and 4 triples. And he strikes out. So Phillippe gets his 3rd K of the day. So brings up Art Devlin, .251 hitter on the season with 27 runs batted in, 25 runs scored, 8 stolen bases, 4 doubles and 5 triples. And he strikes out. And that'll do it. So Phillippe has the strikeout going today. And that does it for the Giants in the second. So after 1.5, still no score. So it'll be Leach, Ritchie, and Hildebrand up against Ames. Leach with a .234 average coming into the game with 16 runs batted in, 20 runs scored, 7 stolen bases, 4 doubles and 3 triples. And that's a little dribble in front. It looks like Darlin's going to get to it, and it's close play, and he beats it out. So Leach with a hustle single there. Infield single. Darlin did all he could to get to the ball. So leadoff runner is on for the Pirates. Brings up Ritchie. Ritchie comes in .261 average, 30 runs batted in, 23 runs scored, 5 stolen bases, and 9 doubles. So he's going to be sacrificing here. Only play is to first.
First base.
As Leach moves into scoring position with 1 down. So Hildebrand with a chance to put the Pirates on the board. 329 and 70 at-bats with 7 runs batted in. 6 runs scored with a double and triple. And he's going to sacrifice too, surprisingly.
Catcher.
So Leach will move over to third. So 2 outs now with a runner in third. So a pass ball or a wild pitch could get the run home too. So the catcher Gibson up now, .231 hitter with 39 for 39 on the season, with a homer and 6 runs batted in. And that's a strike. So quickly in the hole of the swing and miss, 0-2. So that is going to be get through on the 0-2 count for a base hit. That'll bring the run home.
Center fielder, Patsy.
So Gibson gets an RBI single to put the Pirates on the board. And St. Louis and Boston are now tied at 1 in American League action. And here Pittsburgh is leading 1-0 now. So that brings up Flaherty, hitting just .188 with 8 runs batted in, 10 runs scored with a double and 4 triples. And that's going to be ball 1, way inside. And that's going to be another base hit. That's going to go into the corner. It's going to be at least a double, and it looks like they're going to send the runner home as Brown has trouble digging out. He's going to go for third, and he'll be safe. So Flaherty with an RBI triple will add to the Pittsburgh lead and make it 2-0 now. So the pitcher's spot is a chance to help himself here. Hitting just .059 on the season, 2 for 34 with an RBI. And that's going to be waved at and a miss for strike one. And 1-1. And that's a little nubber. It's going to get through. Gilbert has it though, and he'll fire to McGann to end the inning.
Shortstop, Bill Dolan.
But Pittsburgh strikes first, and they score 2 runs and lead it 2-0 after 2. So Bill Dolan, riding a 10-game hitting streak, comes to the plate. Comes in hitting .257, 2 homers and 36 runs batted in. Has scored 29 runs, has 12 stolen bases, and 7 doubles and 4 triples. See if he can extend his hitting streak in his first at bat. And it's going to be a fly ball to center.
Second baseman.
And Flaherty's under it, makes the catch. So Dolan will have to wait till his next at bat to try to extend his hitting streak. So Billy Gilbert up now. He comes in hitting .231 with 17 runs batted in. Has scored 15 runs and has 4 doubles. And he strikes out. So Phillippe has now 5 strikeouts on the day. And we're only in the second. In the third. So Red Ames up now. And that's going to be a liner foul down the first base line. So Ames is 3 for 31 on the season with an RBI, 3 runs scored. And he strikes out. So 6 Ks on the day now for Phillippe. So top of the order, Clark will lead it off for the Pirates here in the bottom of the third. Up by 2. And he strikes out. So Ames gets his second strikeout of the day. It brings up the right fielder, Del Howard. And that's a little dribbler. Ames is going to go over and cover. Gilbert fields it. Fires over to Ames for out number 2. So Wagner, still trying to extend his 16-game hitting streak, comes to the plate. And it's going to be hit to Gilbert, and he gets it. Nice play by Gilbert. Deep in the outfield grass. And that'll do it for Pittsburgh in the third. So it remains 2-0 as we head to the fourth. Top of the order, Donlin will lead it off. And that's a foul ball down the third base line. That'll go foul. So the Giants still looking for their first hit of the day. And they'll continue to look as Phillippe has everything going today. Has already 7 Ks in the first 10 batters. Can't get much better than that. So Brown up now, 0 for 1 on the day. Wow, and another strikeout. I don't think I've ever seen this, especially from a dead ball pitcher. So out of the first 11 batters, Phillippe has struck out the first 8 out of 11 batters. Unbelievable. Might be talking record on this one here. So Bresnan up now 0 for 1. And that'll get through for a base hit. So Giants with their first base hit of the day. Perhaps that'll get them going there. So McGann up now, 0 for 1. And that's a strike in the inside corner. And that's going to be a ball, 1-1 just inside. 2-1 the count now. 3-1. Count is full now, so Bresnan will be off on the pitch with 2 down. And the Highlanders have pulled ahead of the Naps 2-1 now in the third. And it's fouled back out of play. And that is going to drop in there over the head of Wagner as Bresnan moves to third. He was running with the pitch. So runners at the corner. So the Giants have something going here with tying runs on with 2 down. Can Mertes deliver? McGann has 8 steals on the season, but he won't be going anywhere. And that is going to be fly ball to right field. And that'll do it as Howard makes the catch for out number 3. So the Giants cannot do anything in the 4th, and it remains 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. So Leach will lead it off 1-for-1. Little dribble to Dowling it short. Fields it deep in the hole and fires across. Had plenty of time there, as Leach does not have great speed. So Ritchie up now with 1 down. And we have another score here. Looks like the Athletics have pulled ahead of the White Sox 5-2 in the 6th. And that's going to be a little dribbler. Dowling takes it near the bag, fires to first. So 2 up and 2 down for the Pirates here in the 4th. Cincinnati leads Brooklyn 4-1 in the 3rd. Hillebrand up now. And that's going to be hit to left. Looks like Mertes has it sized out. No, actually it's going to be Devlin. And that'll do it in the 4th. So we head to the top of the 5th with Pittsburgh leading 2-0. Devlin to the plate now, 0-for-1. And another strikeout. Man! So 9 Ks for Phillippe. So it'll bring up Dowling, still trying to extend his 10-game hitting streak. And that'll drop in. That goes all the way to the wall. And Dowling will extend his hitting streak in style with a double. So Dowling's hitting streak now up to 11 games. So Gilbert with a chance to put the Giants on the board here with 1 down. Strike 1 at the knees. And that's going to be a down the line. It's going to go into the corner. And he's going to have himself a RBI triple as Clark throws it back in, but not in time. So Gilbert puts the Giants on the board with an RBI triple. So Ames with a chance to tie the game here. Help his own cause. 0-for-1 so far. Takes a strike. Swing and a miss. And it's going to be strike. That's another swing and a miss for strike 2. So Ames quickly in the hole, 0-2. And that's going to be a little dribble of the Wagner. Let's see if this will get the run home. And we're going to send the run home because it's deep in the hole. So McGraw elects to send the runner home. And throw is going to be over to first. So Ames gets the job done. And an RBI ground out and ties the game at 2. So top of the order, Donlin up for the Giants here. And he strikes out. But damage has been done as the Giants put up a 2 spot and tie the game at 2 halfway through. So Gibson will lead it off. He's 1-for-1 today. And Ames strikes him out. His 3rd K of the day. Flaherty 1-for-1 up to the plate now. And back-to-back Ks to start the 5th. So Ames seems to have been motivated by his base RBI ground out there, as he struck out the first 2 Pirate batters here in the 5th. So Phillippe up now. And he strikes out the side. So both pitchers have the strikeout going on today. And we're head to the 6th now with the score Pittsburgh 2 and Giants 2. As you can hear the church downstairs and then playing some music there. I have a Spanish church right below the office here, so hopefully you can't hear it too much. But anyway, so George Brown up now. He's 0-for-2. And he strikes out. So Phillippe now with 11 Ks through 5 1/3 innings. So he's on the strikeout watch here. See if he can break a record here. Not sure what the record for strikeouts was back then, but I know what the record is now is 20. Or is it 21? It might have been 21 now. Anyway, Bresnahan up now. He's 1 for 2. And he strikes out. Wow. This is an unequal performance. I have not yet to see this happen in a dead ball era, but it's happening now as Phillippe has 12 Ks on the day. And we're only in the top of the 6th. So Dan McGann, it's a little dribbler to Wagner. This time he gets it behind the bag, throws to first, and that will do it. So we head to the home half of the 6th with the score still tied at 2. Fred Clark to lead it off. The leadoff hitter is 0 for 2. That's a little dribble to Dowling. He scoops it up. Can he get there in time? And it's going to be close. And he is safe. So Clark beats it out. So leadoff runner is on. Go ahead run is on for Howard, who's 0 for 2. And that's going to be ball 1, low and inside. And that's a little dribbler in front of the plate. This will get the runner over. So Clark is in scoring position now with 1 down for Honus Wagner, who's looking to extend his 16-game hitting streak. Currently 0 for 2 on the day. And that's going to be ball 1 up and in. 2-0 the count now. And that will get the job done. That's going to be a base hit up the middle, and it looks like they're going to send the runner. No! Donlin bobbles it, and this will get the run home. And Wagner will move up to second, so an RBI. I believe the runner. I don't know if the runner is going to get credit for an RBI there. I'm not sure on that one. I think he should probably, but looked like he was held up pretty much at third before Donlin bobbled it, so they might not credit him with an RBI there, but it's definitely going to be an error on Donlin. And it's a 3-2 Pittsburgh lead. So Leach up now 1 for 2. And that is a fly ball popped up to left. Looks like it's going to drift back into the stands as Devlin gives chase. So it's out of play, so 0-1 the count. And it looks like the White Sox are ahead of the Cubs are ahead of the Beaners now 1-0. So I'll have to keep a look on that as the Cubs have a 1-game lead on the Giants. And that's going to be a liner to Gilbert. Makes the catch as Wagner holds for out number 2. So Richie 0 for 1. And that's going to be great play by Gilbert. So a great diving play there to get to that one. Gets up over to first. And that'll do it for the Pirates in the 6th, but they do get another run and lead it now 3-2 as we head to the 7th. So Sam Murphy is 0 for 2 up to the plate now. And that's hit the center. It looks like Flaherty has it for out number 1. So the Philadelphia Phillies, I believe, lead the St. Louis Cardinals 3-0. So Art Devlin up to the plate now 0 for 2. And that's going to be hit to the first baseman, who takes it to the bag himself. Waves off the pitcher Phillippe. So Bill Dowling extended his hitting streak in his last at bat to 11 games with a double. Pops this one up. Looks like the first baseman's going to have a chance at this one. And McGann will make the catch. Hillebrand will make the catch for out number 3. So seventh inning stretch time. Don't think they called it back then in 1905, but 7th inning stretch time, and the Giants trail by 1. So Hillebrand to lead it off, 0 for 1. Little dribbler. Looks like Dowling will have it. Can he get to it? And he gets to it plenty of time over to first. So Dowling's been busy at short today. And Cincinnati leads Brooklyn now 5-3 in the 6th. So Gibson up now 1 for 2. Pops this one up. Dowling has it sized up and makes the catch for out number 2. So Flaherty up now 1 for 2. And he's going to hit this one to right. Brown barely has to move, and he'll make the catch there in the inning. So 1, 2, 3 go the Pirates in the 7th. So we'll head to the 8th. 3-2 Pittsburgh. So Billy Gilbert to lead it off, 1 for 2. And this one's going to be hit up the middle. He's going to try to stretch it in the 2. Is he going to make it? And he will. So Gilbert with a hustle double there, as Flaherty was a little slow at getting that one back in. So the tying run is in scoring position with nobody out for the pitcher Ames, 0 for 2. And I think we're going to have him bunt here. We're going to win a bunt here. He took a strike there. A swing and a miss for strike 1. Bunt is back on. And it looks like it's going to be... Oh, no, they're going to go to third, and they're going to get the lead runner. So Ames unable to hit it too hard, and they get the lead runner out. So Ames unable to get a good bunt down. Donlin up now. Takes a strike. Or swing and a miss for strike 1. So Donlin is 0 for 3 on the day. So Ames unable to execute a successful sacrifice, as it's now 3-1 on Donlin. And ball 4, so this will get the runner in scoring position again. So it'll be a Brown. He's been up 3 times and he's struck out 3 times. See if he can turn his day around. If he gets a base hit here, that all will be forgotten. And he'll get a base hit. Let's see if they're going to send Ames here. And they will. So George Brown comes through with an RBI single. Donald will move up to third as Ames comes in to score. So it's a 3-3 game. Runners at the corner, still only 1 down for Bresnahan. Bresnahan with a chance to give the Giants the lead late in the game. And that's fouled back out of play. And it's 1-1 to count now. Foul back, 1-2 now on Bresnahan. And that's going to be a wild pitch, I think. Is that a wild pitch or a pass? Wild pitch on Phillippe. So Phillippe lets the go-ahead run come in on a wild pitch. So the Giants score the go-ahead run without the benefit of a hit. Brown moves in scoring position now, so Bresnahan with a chance to add to the lead. And that's going to go through for a base hit. This should get the run in. And we're going to try it here. 68% chance. We're going to go for it. No. So the throw is going to be cut off. And actually, it's going to be an error on Howard. Throw is up the line. If he gives him Brown, will be safe. Bresnahan goes to second. That's an error on Howard. So Howard. What did he try to throw? Gets away from Gibson. Oh, okay, so he tried to throw the runner out, and it was up the line, and it was an error. Didn't see where that went. So another run comes in for the Giants, and they lead it now 5-3 as we're in the 8th now. A big 3-run 8th inning here to take the lead. So McGann up now trying to extend the lead here. 1 for 3 on the day. It looks like Phillippe is still out there, and they're gonna issue an intentional walk to McGann. So Sam Murte is 0 for 3. Ball 1. 2-0 the count, so good hitters count for Murtes. And it's going to be called strike, 2-1. And catches the inside corner, 2-2 the count now on Murtes. Full count now. Popped up behind the plate. Gibson gives chase, but I think this one will be back out of play. And it's off the screen. So 3-2 the count still. And that's a foul ball down the first baseline. So re-pitch on the full count. And he fights one off, so good at bat by Murtes. And looks like they're going to hold. No. So that was slow in developing there. Oh, Flaherty bobbles the ball. And Bresnahan will score. McGann to third, and Mertes ends up at second. As Mertes continues to rake Pittsburgh. I don't think he continued. It's only his first hit of the day. So he must have been having a good series except for today. So a 4-run inning so far. It's still only 1 out with 2 more runners in scoring position. Devlin up now. Also hitless on the day as Gibson goes out to talk to Phillippe. Goes back behind the plate. And that is going to be through for a base hit. And it looks like another bobble by the left fielder this time. And that's going to allow the runner to get to third. So Clark, oh no, it's not. Actually, they're going to credit him with a triple. With the head first slide. So Art Devlin with a 2-run triple there. And it's now 8-3, a big 6-run inning. As the Giants have exploded here in the 8th. Phillippe still out there. Dallin 1 for 3 up now. Foul ball for strike 1. And that's hit to right. Looks like this will be deep enough to get the run home. And Devlin will tag and easily score. The 9th run for the Giants. So the Giants explode for 7 runs in the 8th. So Gilbert up now, 2 for 3. And he'll ace a base hit. Phillippe's still in there. Ames 0 for 3 up to the plate now. And that's gonna... And it looks like the second baseman played perfectly and guns him out. But damage has been done as the Giants put up a 7 spot and turn a 3-2 deficit into a 9-3 lead as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Ames 95 pitches in good shape here. He'll go out here for the bottom of the 8th. And see if they pinch hit for Phillippe. No, they don't, surprisingly, and he strikes out. So that was odd there. They didn't pinch hit for him. So Ames now with 6 Ks on the day. And that's going to be a 1-out walk. It's kind of a mock cheer for Clark there. So Howard now 0 for 2. And swing and a miss for strike 1. Pops this one up behind the plate. Bresnahan gives chase, but that'll be back out of play. So Howard gets back in the box, 0-2. Low and outside for ball 1, 1-2. And that'll be a foul down the first baseline. So count remains 1-2. 2-2 now. And that's going to be a ground ball to McGann. And McGann bobbles it. So McGann can't find the handle on it. Tried to rush it over to first. And Howard will reach on the error. So runners on first and second with 1 down for Wagner. And swung and miss for strike 1. So Wagner extended his hitting streak to 17 games now. So 1-2 the count. And that's a liner down the... And that's going to be foul. Just foul. So count remains 1-2. 2-2 now. And that's going to drop in there and get through. See if they send the runner here. And they don't. So that'll load the bases. With 1 down for Leach, who's 1 for 3 on the day. So the fans getting up there as Bresnahan goes out to talk to Ames, goes back behind the plate. Ames kicks and delivers. And that's a strike. 1-1 the count now. 2-1. Strike 2 called, 2-2. Full count now. And a big strikeout for Ames for out number 2. As the Cubs continue to lead the Bean Eaters 2-0. So Richie 0 for 2 up to the plate now. Ames would like to get out of it with no damage. Foul ball, strike one. 1-1 the count. 2-1. Count evens at 2. And that's going to be popped up down the first base line. Is it going to stay in play? And I think that's going to go back into the stance. Got to hit Mr. Brody there. So 2-2 the count still. And again, that's hit down the line. It looks like that's going to get out of play. And just out of the reach of Brown into the stance. So still 2-2. Full count now. And that's going to be a... Bresnahan wanted that to be a strike, as did Ames. So it gets 1 run in now, 9-4. So Hillebrand up now, 0 for 2. And we got to get somebody warming up in the bullpen here. We get our one reliever here up and going. So Hillebrand 0 for 2 up to the plate now. Count 0-1. And that is just out of the reach of Devlin. So 0-2 the count now. Hillebrand quickly in the hole. And 1-2 now. And he strikes him out. So a big strikeout for Ames to get out of it. Only 1 run comes across, and it's 9-4 as we head to the 9th. So Phillippe back out there still. Don't know why after giving up 9 runs. I think like at least 7 of them were earned, I think. So ball 1. He does have 12 strikeouts on the day, though. 1-1 the count now, and Donlin. And Donlin will get a base hit past Wagner. So Donlin's on first now, and we're going to send him. So Donlin's off with the pitch, and that's going to go into center field, and that's going to be an error on the catcher Gibson as the ball goes into center, and Donlin will advance to third. So stolen base and an error. So Donlin's at third with nobody out. Brown 1 for 4 up to the plate now. He struck out 3 times, but got a key base hit in his last at bat. See if this is deep enough to get the run home. And it will be, as Donlin will come home and score the 10th New York run.
Pitching for Pittsburgh, lefty, live field.
So an RBI RBI sacrifice fly for Hillebrand. For Brown. And it's now 10-4. So a relief pitcher for the Pittsburgh. Don't really see a lot of relief pitchers by the computer, but you see one here. He comes in with an 0-1 record, 3.12 earned run average, 3 saves, 8 2/3 innings pitched, 13 hits allowed, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. He's a lefty, so that'll be a foul ball down the first base line. Bresnahan's 2 for 4 on the day. Quickly in the hole, 0-2. And he'll line one. Great play by Wagner there for out number 2. Nice leaping catch there. So McGann 1 for 3 up to the plate now. Ball 1. 2-0 the count. 3-0. And that's going to be ball 4. So he walks on 4 pitches. Yeah, we're going to send McGann here. Why not? McGann's off for the pitch. Here's the throw to second. And he's in there. So McGann in scoring position now for Merte is 1 for 4. 1-1 the count. And that's going to be a liner to Wagner, and he'll make the catch to end the inning. But they do tack on another one, and it's New York 10 and Pittsburgh 4 as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Ames is going to stay out there. Gives him 1 for 3 up to the plate. It's a foul ball down the third baseline. 0-1. Quickly in the hole, 0-2. Popped up behind the plate. And does he have a reach of it? No, just out of reach. So the count remains 0-2. Another pop up behind the plate. Could be the same thing probably back in the stands. And another foul. 0-2. 1-2 now. And that's finally hitting fair territory. Mertes barely has to move and makes the catch for out number 1. So Flaherty 1 for 3 up to the plate now. 0-1. And that's a dribbler. Dowling has it over to first. Gets him easily for out number 2.
Pitcher,
So that
lefty, light field.
So down to the last out of the Pirates. Lightfield's up to the plate now. Ginger Beaumont will come in the pinch hit.
For Pittsburgh, Ginger, Beaumont.
Hitting .302, 2 homers, 16 runs batted in. Ball 1. 1-1 the count. 2-1. 3-1. And that'll get through for a base hit. Ah, man. And another error by Dowlin's going to allow the runner to move out. So Dowling with his second error of the day. And oh man, I don't want to waste my relief pitcher here. So let's see how he is. He looks tired. Okay, so we're going to bring in Elliott here. So he went from strong to tired in a couple of batters.
For New York, Claude, Elliott.
All right, so Clark up to the plate now, 1 for 3 as Elliott takes the hill. And that's going to be a swing in the strike 1 called. So Elliott comes in with a 4-2 record, 5.59 earned run average, 3 saves. And quickly in the hole, 0-2. So Pittsburgh down to their last strike. 1-2 now. 2-2. And that'll be a strikeout to end the game. So Ames comes in within 1 batter of getting 1 out of getting a complete game.
The final score from Exposition Park, New York 10, Pittsburgh 4, Red Ames is the winner. He is now 8-1. Duncan Phillippe picks up the loss. He is now 8-4. Time of the game, 2 hours, 25 minutes.
So alright, so Red Ames gets the win, goes to 8-1, pitches 8 2/3 innings, allows 7 hits, 4 runs, only 2 of them were earned, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. So Phillippe pitched 8 1/3 innings, allowed 11 hits, 10 runs, and all of them were earned. Don't know why they kept him in so long. 2 walks, but did hit strikeout 12, 145 innings pitch, 145 pitches. Ames pitched 149 pitches. And Leafield came in and pitched 2/3 of an inning, allowing 1 walk. And Elliott finished the game for the Giants, pitching 1/3 of an inning, striking out the only batter he faced. So let's check out the batting here. So Donlin was 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored and a walk. George Brown, the right fielder, 1 for 5 with a run scored and 2 runs batted in, after he struck out his first 3 times. Bresnahan, 2 for 5 with a run scored and an RBI. McGann, 1 for 3 with a run scored, walked twice. Mertes, 1 for 5 with a run scored. Devlin, 1 for 4 with a run scored and 2 runs batted in. Darlin, 1 for 4 with a run scored. Gilbert, 3 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. Red Ames, the pitcher, 0 for 4 but with a run scored and an RBI. So for the Pirates, Fred Clark, the left fielder, was 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored and a walk. Del Howard, 0 for 3. Honus Wagner, 2 for 4. Leach was 1 for 4 with a run scored. Ritchie was 0 for 2 with an RBI and a walk. Hillebrand was 0 for 3. Gibson, 1 for 4 with a RBI and a run scored. Flaherty was 1 for 4 with an RBI. Phillippe, the pitcher, was 0 for 3. Leafield did not get in at bat, and Beaumont, the pinch hitter, was 1 for 1. So let's check out the miscellaneous stuff here. Mr. Brody is a Giants fan, so there you go. So Donlin committed 2 errors for 11. McGann committed his 6th. So the Giants committed 3 errors, as well as did the Pirates. Donlin with his 13th stolen base, McGann with his 9th. And great plays by Dowling, Gilbert, and Wagner. And the MVP, Red Ames. I guess we'll have to agree with that one. So let's look at the score sheets here. So there's the score sheets for the Giants. Score sheets for Pittsburgh. Score sheet, I should say. Here's the recap. So a big recap here. A lot of stuff going on. And we'll do the play-by-play. And there we go. And go back to the complete here. So definitely, I think player of the game, yeah, we'll give it to Red Ames. He almost pitches a complete game, 8 1/3 innings. Only allowed 8 2/3 innings, only allowed 2 earned runs with 2 walks and 8 strikeouts. So a fine performance there. And let's check the standings out now. So I don't know why this has been doing this with some reason with Action PC lately. In my upcoming games, it's been all blanking them for some reason. I don't know if it's a bug or what. But anyway, so the Chicago Cubs won, and it's going to be, they're still going to be a game behind the Chicago Cubs. The Giants will be. Let's check our games coming up. And it looks like it's going to be, yeah, looks like they got another game against the Pittsburgh Pirates, game 4 of the series. Just trying to go for a split there. And the Chicago Cubs, it looks like they'll play the Boston Beaneaters again. So thank you for joining me. It's Merrick from Higher Ground Gaming, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.